Remotely piloted aircraft like this have been a primary tool in a war the United States wants to execute with a light footprint, few U.S. troops on the ground, and a focus instead on building the capacity of African forces. But the raids in Somalia and Libya, both involving special forces, show it's going to take a combined effort in what President Barack Obama says will have to be a prolonged campaign.
Africa is one of the places where because in some cases of the lack of capacity on the part of the governments, in some cases because it is easier for folks to hide out in vast terrains that are sparsely populated, that you're seeing some of these groups gather. And we're going to have to continue to go after them.
Until recently, drone strikes had been the U.S. method of choice for getting terrorists. But scenes like this in Yemen, where villagers said civilians were killed by a U.S. drone strike, have created an image problem for the United States. Mr. Obama signaled a shift in tactics during a speech in May.
And the progress we've made against core al-Qaeda will reduce the need for unmanned strikes.
That shift is the result of an outcry overseas and also in the U.S., where the administration's drone policy is a target of activists. Joseph Siegel is Director of Research at the U.S. Defense Department's Africa Center for Strategic Studies. He says the change is key to building and protecting partnerships on the continent.
There's a realization this is a long war. It isn't just a series of missions. And to win that longer war, you need to win the support of the populations in which these terrorist activities are taking place. And you're not going to do that if you cause many civilian casualties, and the U.S. is blamed for embroiling these countries.
The U.S. government says it prefers to capture, interrogate, and prosecute terrorists, mainly by using special forces. But putting U.S. troops on the ground, regardless of how small their numbers are, carries other risks. Polls show Americans do not favor involvement in another war. The Hollywood film Black Hawk Down depicted the downing of a U.S. helicopter in Somalia 20 years ago this month during the Battle of Mogadishu. In that incident, 18 Americans were killed. Americans are in no mood for a repeat. Luis Ramirez, VOA News at the Pentagon.